tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Hey. Tengo lo que la vida viene adentro. Te siento lo que me mueve ese cuerpo. Arriba, arriba, lo que la vida llega arriba, arriba. Mi vida, lo que la vida llega arriba, arriba. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí.
Yeah, I see you staring back at me with those brown eyes, baby. We can go down to Main Street, dance all night to the beat. I'ma take you back with me, make it just about you and me. Dance all night to the beat, make it just about you and me.
Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí.
I'm back like never before, y'all. Didn't go nowhere, just been up here chilling down on the top floor, y'all. Here we go, my name is Willow. So much go, gotta put it in my pillow. Not really known for my rhymes, though. Just a wild boy from south of Amarillo. Moved out here to the west coast. Not really sure if I should stay or go. I do know one thing is that I like to drop all those bars, yo. Here we go. Don't really plan on getting old. Gonna live my life all day, all night till I max out my time, yo.
Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí. Creo que tú y yo podemos ir ahí.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sitting all alone, mouth full of gum in the driveway. Things aren't far. In the back of my car lay their bodies. Where's my mind? Where's my mind? They'll be here pretty soon, looking through my room for the money. I'm biting my nails. I'm too young to go to jail. It's kind of funny. Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Maybe it's in the gutter where I left my lover. What an expensive fate. These for vendetta, thought that I'd feel better. Now I got a bellyache.
Everything I do, the way I wear my news like a necklace. I wanna make them scared, like I could be anywhere, like I'm reckless. I lost my mind, I don't mind. Where's my mind? Where's my mind? Maybe it's in the gutter where I left my lover. What an expensive fate. And my V is for vendetta. Thought that I'd feel better, but now I got a bellyache. Maybe it's in the gutter where I left my lover. What an expensive fate. The V is for vendetta. Thought that I'd feel better, now I got a bellyache.
The end.
No, I'm not the man I used to be lately. See, you've met me at an interesting time. And if my past is any sign of your future, you should be warned before I let you inside. Hold on to whatever you find, baby. Hold on to whatever will get you through. Hold on to whatever you find, baby. 'Cause I don't trust myself with loving you. Beg my way into your garden, and I will break my way out when it rains, just to get back to that place where I started, so I can want you back all over again. I don't really understand. Hold on to whatever you find, baby. Hold on to whatever will get you through. Hold on to whatever you find, baby. 'Cause I don't trust myself.
Welcome to the Denton Insider on DentonRadio.com, powered in part by Classic of Denton and Modern Woodman Fraternal Financial. The views and opinions of the show hosts and their guests are those of the show hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com or Discover Denton. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Denton, and welcome to the Denton Insider, where we are here to advocate, educate, and collaborate on behalf of the Denton business community. I'm your host, Randy Skinner. I serve on the Denton Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and as a member, I represent RS Consulting, my local marketing agency. And with me is your host, Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather. I am the director here at Stoke, Denton's co-working space, and co-host of the show. We are really excited today that we get to speak to the president of the Denton Chamber of Commerce, Erica Pangburn. So that is going to be a great conversation.
Yeah, so we have a great show in store for you. And as always, we want to kick off with our sponsor. So this morning we have Tim Smith with Modern Woodmen, who is sponsoring our segment. Tim, thank you so much for supporting the chamber, the business community, and just coming on and telling us a little bit about what you do for Denton and beyond.
Of course. Thank you, Randy. I'm excited to be on today and be able to be a sponsor. You know, we as a firm, Modern Women, have been big supporters of the Chamber of Commerce for many years now and been very involved in the ambassador program, Leadership Denton. We've got one of the guys here in the Denton office who's helping reprise the Denton Young Professionals, which now be the Denton Emerging Professionals. That's a program of the Chamber. So big Chamber advocates, big small business advocates, and we're excited to be here today.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, sure. So for those who don't know, Modern Woodmen is a 137-year-old fraternal financial company, which is a little bit weird. Most people hear the fraternal piece and they think we're a fraternity, and they see that we have a lot of guys in the office, even though we're about 40% female advisors right now, which is pretty good. But the fraternalism piece just means that we don't do branding and advertising in your traditional sense. We do it through community service. It's the tune of about $53 million a year in impact we make nationwide. We did just in Dallas alone, we did about $500,000 last year into the local communities, whether it's through the school districts or it's through nonprofits. I know here locally, for those who are members of the chamber, they probably recognize some of these names, but you know, the Denton Community Food Center, Denton County Friends of the Family, CASA, Children's Advocacy Center, Serve Denton, some of our amazing partners that we've worked with. Even over just the last 12 months, especially in the last 6 to 9 months, as folks have been struggling with COVID and giving back money. And so we do our business a little bit different. But I guess, what is our business? It's the traditional financial services practice you could think of. So investments, insurance, any type of retirement planning. One big area that we've always used the chamber as an awesome opportunity for us to meet great people who we get to bring on as clients has been employee benefits. So we do a lot of 401k and group health insurance and group retirement plans. So we love helping small businesses, whether it's 2 people or it's 200 people. We love getting in there, getting to meet their employees. We do a lot of employee education. That's one of the areas that we love to do, with financial literacy in the workplace. And so we get involved there and try to help them out with their benefits, help them out with their education, and get to better their lives and the communities in which they live, both fraternally, the community service piece, as well as financially. So obviously what we do in a day-to-day profession. So that's a little bit about who we are.
Amazing. That's an amazing model. I didn't know that was
Yep.
kind of the mission and the kind of the strategy behind the way that you'll market yourselves. That's really, really admirable.
And we've seen it for so long that everyone thinks that we're a cabinet making company, or we're lumberjacks, that kind of thing. Our start was in that woodman profession, being a lumberjack, but that's not what we do today. We clear the way for people's financial futures, just kind of like woodmen would clear the way originally for the railroad. But 137 years later, you got to pivot a little bit, a couple of times. Randy would know that as a marketing person, you got to pivot once or twice over 137 years as times change. And we're certainly pivoting now. So super excited.
Awesome. So how would people get in touch with you?
Sure. So I have a LinkedIn. Tim Smith is not the most specific name, but if you type in Tim Smith and then Modern Woodmen, you should be able to find me on LinkedIn. I have a website as well. If you type in Tim Smith Modern Woodmen, it should be the first website that pops up in any type of search engine that you use. And certainly find us on Facebook. We'd love to be able to visit with you. And my job as a regional director, I get to do a little bit of the business, but I really help find amazing people who really need to get into this career. And so if anybody out there is maybe looking to make a career change where they feel like they're a devoted team player, they're really a relationship-minded individual, and they want to have that community impact through being a valued citizen by being a community pillar in whatever local community they're in, give me a shout. our mission statement is to impact through relationships. And so if you feel like that resonates with you, give me a shout. We'd love to talk to you about a career, or if we can help your business or what you do on a personal side financially, we can help you there too. We just like building relationships with people.
Well, so building relationships is obviously a key part of the work that you and your team does. So as someone who has continued to grow their business in Denton and help other people, other advisors grow their business, what's some advice or what's some hot takes and tips that you could give the business community right now?
Man, and the business community, it depends upon where you fall. Sometimes there's some people out there who are just thriving right now. You got some people who are hurting big time. And you got some people who are still trying to start businesses in this time, or some people trying to keep businesses going. I think it always kind of comes down to, if you're talking about the financial piece of it, build a budget. And really, more than anything else, work with somebody like me who we do education for free. I can't tell you how many, realtors, small business owners, the lawyer, the person who's going to go out and set up their own practice. We just say, come talk to us. We're not here to sell you a product. We're here to walk you through it. And if you become successful in business, we hope you remember our name. And so set a budget, build a plan. It's something that we're good at. We got planner in the name of our title as a financial planner. Sit down with us and let's help you walk through those really harrowing steps. And right now, more than anything else, that much uncertainty, it might make it a little bit scary to figure out, what do I do now? How do I grow my business next? If I want to start a business, how do I do that? Talk to a planner. We have a lot of knowledge about how to set up your business, how to financially operate your business, and all of it's free. Just sit down and come and use our education and our resource. And we know that that's an investment in you as an individual that turns out, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years down the road, we'll come back into our own practice some way or form. But I think more than anything else right now, that if no matter where you are, if you're starting a business, you've been in a business for a long time, times like now, it really gives you a great opportunity. And I don't know how many people are really talking about the awesome opportunity they have right now, and more everyone's talking about, how do I survive? But this really is an awesome opportunity to take a minute and rethink. Do I have a clear mission statement for my business? Do I understand, what I stand for, what I believe in? Do I have a clear values and culture for my organization? Because your values, they don't get shaken by COVID. They don't get shaken by a recession. Your values are things that are core beliefs that you hold on to near and dear. And the people that you work for or you work with, maybe it's your clients, they glom on to the values and your culture and what your mission statement is. And if you make sure that's clear, you'll have clients as you kind of go through this season of life. And then lastly, I think this is a great time to review where you want to go. Maybe your business a year ago was heading in a certain direction, but because of COVID, you have to pivot. We've had to see it where I think I maybe did 10 virtual meetings in my 8-year career up till March. And then since March, I think I've done about 10 virtual meetings a day. And so there's a lot of changes here, and that begins to let us pivot. And so we now need to see, okay, has our direction, has our finish line, has our end goal changed? Use this time as an opportunity to reassess. What is my mission? What is my vision? What are my values? Making sure they're solid, making sure there's no changes that need to be made, and then move forward. And know that, yes, it feels like the COVID apocalypse will never end, but it will. And once you get to the other side, you want to make sure you grow from this opportunity rather than just struggle by and try to survive. So that's a tip I'd like to give.
I think that's spot on. It reminds me too, last week our guest was John Baines, and one of the tips that he gave was, as a business owner, get with the experts, right? Get with the bank, get with whoever it is that's an expert in something that you're struggling with. And so I think that is, kind of that same mentality. We don't have to go it alone as business owners. We can reach out and tap into our local business community and tap into experts like you. So thank you so much, Tim, for just offering up the free education and resources. So if anybody wants to learn more about financial literacy, what their staff can do, what they can do, connect with Tim, Tim Smith, Modern Woodman, LinkedIn, Google, Facebook. He everywhere. He's got a digital footprint that you can
find me on the Chamber website. You can find us anywhere. Yeah, just type it in.
Website. Yeah. So, well, thank you, Tim. We appreciate you. Thanks for supporting.
Of course. Y'all have a good show.
So we are going to head on over to our speaker. Who do we have today, Heather?
So today we have Erica Pangburn, who is the president of the Denton Chamber of Commerce. Been in Denton about a little over a year now, right? By way of
coming up on 18 months.
Awesome.
Over a year. Okay. Basically, your time in Denton is how old my daughter Easton is. So like forever, I will know how long we've been in Denton.
Exactly. Right.
Well, welcome.
Thank you, ladies. Next up,
Go ahead.
get on the inside of the Denton Insider.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us kind of, I feel like the word of the year so far is pivot, right? So
I thought it was you're on mute.
Oh.
I literally just went, wait, am I on mute?
Gotcha.
That's the catchphrase. Pivot, you're on mute.
Gotcha.
So what does that look like for you at the chamber?
Ooh.
That was a big question.
Sorry, I'm just like
So
Let's dive in.
Right. Let's get right to the meat, right? We're not going to have any milk at all first. So I will tell you, when, we're going to look back on this year, where were you the third week of March, like when the entire world stopped? I will tell you, for us as a Chamber of Commerce, as an organization who, we're a membership association. Our magic happens when we get people together. So we instantly lost 48% of our ability to do magic. The events, the in-person events went away immediately. And of course, we want everyone to stay safe and we want your businesses to thrive. But there is a magic that happens when people are together in the same space that is really difficult to recreate in Zoom. I'm going to hand it to Zoom. As a company, they pivoted and did all the things that they could do to really, we're a bunch of old dogs that immediately learned new tricks. And we did that. And I feel for Tim in that, I went from maybe having had 2 virtual meetings in my life before March of 2020 to having, again, 10 a day, 10 a week, just depending on what's happening, because staying connected, when our government said, go home and disconnect, that's not what chambers do. So we made the decision immediately to press in and get more connected than we ever had been, because we knew also that while we couldn't get together, and that meant something for us as an organization, the impact that was going to be felt among our membership of, we knew that businesses were going to be lost. We knew that people's entire lifetime investments were going to be lost. And that was something that we as a staff rallied together really quickly and said, I don't know what we can do to save them, but how can we offer value? What resources do they need? How can we stay connected? How can we walk through this and hopefully walk them to a place of success on the other side? I'm not gonna lie, it's been a hard year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I know that one of the ways that the Chamber has continued to connect and provide resources for our business community is through the resources online. I know when this first started, the guide that y'all started putting together for here's the restaurants, here's the businesses, here's how you can support. I think, and that's still something we can use even now in the midst of everything. It's relevant and it's lasting. And so I think for me personally, I think that was something that I found so beneficial just right out of the gate. 'Cause it's like, where do we go? What do we do? How can we help? And, Chamber answered the call. I think that was one of the ways that they did that.
I'm really appreciative of the way that our staff rallied together and connected with our membership. I had 5 staff people who were tasked solely with making 700 phone calls in the first 2 weeks of the lockdown to really make those in-person connections with our membership and to find out what they needed. And it's crazy. Like, they didn't know either. If we called you on the phone and we said, what do you need right now? The answer 99% of the time was, I don't even know. I need to be able to be open. I need to be able to sell my product or market my product. And so when Tim was talking about how, it was time to take a serious look at what is our mission and how do we bring value and maybe rearrange that. So we immediately pared away the things, we recognized we're not going to be doing mixers. We're not going to be able to connect with people in the evenings. recognizing where people were at, watching people's personal and professional lives just all sort of merge together. And so we probably spent the first month listening as hard as we could and going, okay, here's where everybody's at now. How do we offer assistance without intruding into, the personal lives or intruding into these things? How do we be sensitive to what the needs are? How do we do what we can do? And what should we focus on now? Like, what do we need to add to our bag of tricks that we haven't been doing before? And we dialed in real hard to our membership model, which is our entire business model. We dialed down into that, and we quietly rolled out a new membership model altogether. Rather than charging members, this is an old chamber model, and it's not bad. It's just sort of the old way of doing business. Chambers of commerce historically have set their membership rates according to how many members or how many employees you have in your company. So if Heather, for example, you're a small business owner and you have 3 employees, you may pay a very low level of an annual chamber membership fee. So what happens if you grow a little bit and you're able to add 10 more employees, and now that bumps you up into a new chamber bracket? We'd call you up and go, hey, congratulations on all the growth. We're going to continue to offer you the same amount of benefits, but as a reward for all your growth, your chamber membership just went up by 50%. We'll expect your check. It's ridiculous, right? So we actually dismantled our entire business plan, our entire benefits and value proposition, and we literally spread all that out on a table, wrote out every single thing we could offer, looked for ways to reconfigure the things that we offer, looked at what our members were asking us for. We surveyed our members and said, what is valuable to you? Why do you want to keep coming to the table? And what we did is we put that puzzle back together and said, okay, we're going to package these values and these benefits according to what type of business you might be and what type of benefits are valuable to where you're at on your business journey. So we also spent a good part of this year just dialing into the core of what we do, and that's bringing value to our members and trying to repackage that in a way that would add value to them and not be a burden. We actually also added, and this isn't revolutionary because literally everyone does this, but we made it easier to hang on to your chamber membership even when things are hard by setting that at an automatic monthly draft. You can park that chamber membership in your bank account right next to your Netflix account and never have to worry about it. This is something I want to tell our listeners. I talk about this every time I get a chance. The chamber is not the gym. You don't have to show up to get the results. And thank goodness, right? Because I don't have a gym membership either. We're going to be here working in the background on your behalf, whether you come to the networking events, which we haven't had in 6 months, whether you pop into the office, you don't have to show up to get the benefits. Our team is here as an extension of your staff. We're working on your behalf, gathering resources, building relationships, maintaining relationships, doing all these things on your behalf so that when you do need us, you can pick up the call and get an answer the same day. You don't have to take time away from your business. You don't have to take evenings away from your family and search those things down. Our staff has already done that work. So you just pull us like your fire alarm, like your sprinkler system. Like, we are here for you working in the background.
So you mentioned it, you kind of mentioned different parts of it. So I know that the chamber recently kind of dialed in on the mission, and even just hearing, Tim talk about the mission of their business. Can you talk about that? Talk about what you landed on and kind of how you see that playing out in the work that you're doing.
Certainly. And again, I love to tell this story too. Chambers of Commerce were founded 1599, by the way, on the premise of advocacy. And we talk about in our new member orientation, in Marseille, France, there were a group of business owners who got together and linked arms and said to each other in French, I assume, hey, I think the government's trying to screw us. And we know there's power in numbers, so why don't we organize? And that was the first Chamber of Commerce. Advocacy is the cornerstone of everything we do. When I got here, most organizations do have a mission statement. Stoke has a clear stated mission of, why you exist. Randy, you have a clear stated mission of why you exist. Denton Radio does that. And I dare say that most organizations that have been around as long as this one, 111 years, has a pretty in-depth mission statement. And when I got here, we did, and it was clear, and it was about a paragraph long. And I couldn't remember it to save my life. I couldn't get anybody else to remember it. So what we did is we dug down again. We went back to the basics. And fortunately, the Leadership Denton class had spent 9 months working on this before I even arrived. And they had put together some ideas about what the Chamber of the Future looked like and where they would continue to see benefit. And what we landed on as a result of the work of that Leadership Denton class is advocate, educate, and collaborate for economic growth in Denton. We exist for economic growth in Denton. The advocate, educate, and collaborate are the 3 things that that our activities are going to fall into to accomplish that economic growth. So of course, advocacy, because there is power in numbers, and a voice of 700 Denton businesses in Austin or in Washington or at City Council is a lot louder than the voice of one business. Not to mention, most of those people are also voters, which is why that voice sounds super loud. So advocacy, cornerstone of everything we do, maintaining those relationships. If something comes up legislatively at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level, that's going to affect your ability to do business, let us go to battle with you on that. We have the resources and the relationships in place to do that. So advocate, educate. This boils down to workforce retention. Yes, there's educational resources that you need to be a successful business owner, but most of the information you need these days, this is where you go for it first. There's a bunch of information in the magic Google box, right? So I just showed you how old I was. So how do we provide education? How do we partner with our education partners in order to train up the next generation of Denton's workforce? DISD is the Denton Chamber's besties in that. These teachers, this administration, this school system, they're training up our future workforce. Look at all the talent that UNT and NCTC and TWU is attracting to Denton annually, quarterly, and graduating out this great talent every semester. What are we doing to engage with that talent and retain them in Denton to, hang on to that education and get them to help build our community instead of sending back to the communities that they came from? What are we doing to help them build relationships and grow roots in this community? So there's the education component. And collaboration, again, that's just building strategic community partnerships. There's power in numbers, right? If you look around your community, do you want to see a bunch of silos and duplication of services? Or would you rather link arms with the experts in your community and work off of each other? If someone comes to the Denton Chamber this afternoon and knocks on the door and they need food and clothes, I'm not going to ask them to come back tomorrow and then spend the next 12 hours gathering up food and clothes. I'm going to send them to the organization who we're partnering with who already does that. So that's really all collaboration boils down to. Yes, there's a lot of meetings. We go to meetings and we go to Zoom calls and we visit each other's establishments, but that's the relational aspect. Again, Tim was talking about how their business is impact through relationships. That's exactly what the Chamber of Commerce is doing too. We're making an impact in our community in a specific niche that only our organization can fill, but we're doing that through our relationships with our member investors, through our relationships with our community partners, through our relationships with our elected officials and our resource partners.
So, Chamber's pretty busy. There's a lot going on. How are you sleeping?
I'm tired.
No, I mean, I do. Right? There's so many things happening. And so my question is, what would you say? So I feel like there's 2 different groups, right? You're a chamber member or you're not a chamber member. Really, it's you're a chamber member or you're about to be a chamber.
You're a chamber member.
Yes. You're about to be a chamber. So to the people that haven't, found their way into the fold, or maybe they haven't come back yet, some of that may be because they don't understand what the chamber's doing for them, right? They're like, oh, I came in, I didn't get business, or, the chamber's not relevant to me. There's so many, our world's changing so quickly, and the chamber, 111 years old, right? So it's a little bit different, right, than it used to be. So what would you say to someone that maybe thinks that the chamber's not for them?
I would ask them why they think that. And then I'd ask them to tell me about what their goals are for their business and where they are in their journey. What kind of life do they see for themselves in Denton? Because again, we are a business member association. And I'll tell you this, when people let their chamber memberships go, we call them and we follow up, and we want to find out what that experience was, or if there was something we could have done to prevent that. And more often than not, the answer I hear is that, well, I just don't have time to come to the things. And that tells me that they don't understand what we do, and someone has made them feel bad about that. So I know, because I'm in the chamber world, I know what we do. And you're going to find this true in your own organizations. And Randy, you're the person people hire to do this, is that if we're not telling our own story, one of two things is going to happen. Nobody's going to tell the story, or somebody's going to tell it wrong. So we really have to dial in, and each of us have to do this in our organizations, and make sure that we are being really vocal and public about the work that we're doing, and really transparent, and making sure that we're telling that story. Because I can't expect you to learn something that, if you're outside of our doors, of course you don't know everything that's happening. You said something else about people misunderstanding what we do. And I'll tell you, the other common misconception about what chambers do is that we are marketing or advertising. People will say, well, I didn't really get any customers when I was in the chamber. We're not a marketing firm, and we're not an advertising agency. So if Heather just opened up her business and she has a tiny little budget, but she understands that marketing is like at the top of the list, the thing that she needs to do to attract customers, rather than offer to promote her on our Facebook page, or compete with our members who are in marketing and advertising, I may point her to maybe a newer marketing firm, somebody like RS Consulting, who may be not as established, but very talented. So maybe Randy is looking to build her book, and Heather's looking to grow her new business. That might be a really good fit. Heather's going to get a good deal on some quality marketing, because Randy's attracting new customers right now also. So it's our job to understand who our members are, what they do, what their needs are, so we can make those connections at those critical points.
Yeah, I think there's power in numbers, and you said that at the very beginning. And
oh, sure.
I really feel like that the folks that haven't come and joined us over on the chamber side, I think maybe they didn't have that experience, or maybe we didn't show them that experience. And so I would challenge any business owner that maybe feels like the chamber hasn't been the right fit for them to come and tell us why, right? Come and tell us what you need. And I think that's almost, Erica drives me crazy, because I'm like, hey, can I do anything to help? She's like, no, what can I do to help you? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to what can I do? It's like, okay, fine. She's the one, she's my resource. She's like, tell me what else I can do to be a resource. So, I mean, I think that the chamber is really growing and really focusing more on our members individually. I think that's something, or at least within their unique industries. And I feel like the shift in the type of membership is a great example of that. Instead of focusing on how many people you have, it's what do you need? How can we help you invest in your business? How can you invest in the chamber? And it's just a total mind shift. And I feel like how we're serving our members and focusing on what they need versus where we can fit them in. I
want to be clear, this isn't unique to Denton. While there are a lot of things that are unique to Denton, the chamber model or membership model really has across the board. So there's approximately around 7,000 chambers in the US, but they're dealing with the same shifts in their business landscapes in their communities that we are. And we're seeing a more mobile workforce. We're seeing entrepreneurs. We talk about how everything kind of slowed down this year. And in some respects it did, but we only had to slow down to figure out how to go in another direction. There's a whole lot of development that hasn't slowed at all. And I don't know if you heard yesterday, Denton in the top 10 places to buy a house in the US. Back in February, Denton named, number 2 boomtown in the US. We're still the number 2 boomtown. We get daily requests for developers who are coming here. Growth is sweeping across this area. There's over 1 million square feet of spec space going up right now that tenants are looking at and moving into. Development is happening, jobs are coming. And what I would like to invite our community, the idea that I would like our community to participate in is that not everything that you are doing in your business and in your community is for you. That sounds a little edgy. I want to see you personally succeed. I want to see you go out there and have all the customers and make as much money as you can and be as successful as, dream as far as you can for you and build that. But I want to invite you to the idea that you're also building something within your community. The ripples from those stones you're dropping into your business are rippling out across the community. And when you partner with the Chamber of Commerce, you're not just buying into an idea that benefits you. You're not just advocating on your own behalf, and you're not just partnering with us for your benefit. You're also buying into a vision for the future, for Denton's economic future and Denton's quality of life that is continuously being built. And it's our job to be good stewards of that investment. So if your investment, if you're bringing $550 to the table every year and you're trusting us with that $550, we're going to put that in the places that are going to be to the benefit of all of Denton. And every time you call on my cell phone that's listed on our website and on my business cards, I'm going to answer that call because it is about your individual experience too, because the rising tide will gather all the boats. Yeah. And it's really it's that vision that we really are inviting people to be a part of. I want you to prosper individually, but I also want you to do that linking arms with your community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we don't do that and promote that vision, who's going to?
Yeah. That's really a philosophy that I think is so important, and something that, I think is really important to even just that idea of collaboration, and at Stoke, we really do the same thing, and it's a common in that kind of ecosystem startup community is, if one of us individually succeeds and gets a cool article in, a regional paper or something like that, it continues to kind of raise the bar and raise the awareness, and everybody else in the community can glean kind of from that success. It can be a shared experience.
And how much more fun is that to celebrate that with your peers, with your family, as it were. I mean, we are able to choose that. We're able to choose those connections. We're able to choose that family atmosphere. And I love what's happening at Stoke, because how many more ideas are in the room at Stoke than if those entrepreneurs were, working from their bedrooms or their closets or their back porches. The magic that happens when all those people get together in the room. We just, and we can't wait for COVID to be over. I mean, before we get back to the magic, we just have to shift a little bit, mask up, sit a little further away, talk a little louder, but keep bringing those ideas into the same room.
Yeah, it kind of rings back to the phrase that we've been using that we brought up with Superintendent Dr. Jamie Wilson, was physical distance, right? We're not trying to achieve social distance. We're trying to achieve physical distance.
Yes, exactly.
Social connection, whether it's outside, drinking coffee, or, virtually through Zoom. Because that sense of community and the connection that
we need it to survive.
Away.
Right. Yeah. No, we were not created to be an island. We need each other, and we need those ideas, and we need that magic, and we need those things that happen. This is really a time to press into each other, to each other's creativity and encouragement as much as we can. Don't distance.
Right. Right. Yeah. Is there anything exciting that you have on the radar that's coming up that you like?
Well, I thought you'd never ask.
Give us the scoop.
So for all of the exciting things that we do get to be a part of every day, also, I'm done with 2020. So I'm going to announce right now that the Chamber of Commerce is declaring an end to 2020. Our New Year's Eve party is going to be September 24th. So I want you to go ahead and gear up and get your party gear, just as the same way the anticipation that comes around the Academy Awards each year. I'm going to invite you to tune in live for the annual Chamber Awards celebration. We're bidding good riddance to 2020, starting our new year fresh, September 25th. We know who the award winners are this year.
Ooh.
Those awards were just decided, so we're very excited. There's going to be some really fun video reveals. So we have a few fun things planned. When I say we did learn a few tricks this year, you're going to see some of those on September 24th. So get ready, save the date, 5:30 to 7 p.m. You have enough time to run home and pour yourself something fizzy, bubbly, and tune in for the annual Chamber Awards celebration. I also want to say that this week, starting today, today's Wednesday, tune in to the Chamber social media every Wednesday at 4 p.m. for live candidate forums. We have an election coming up in November. So with 5 places open on City Council, 4 City Council seats and the mayoral seat, every single Wednesday this month, we are going to talk to these candidates and let them tell you why they believe that you should vote for them and why they believe that they would be the best ones to carry out the next term on City Council.
That's awesome. And those are going to be, are they going district or like seat by seat? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So this week is place 1, next week place 2, and then we'll do 5 and 6, and then the mayoral seat will be the last Wednesday.
Cool.
And what time on Wednesdays is the live?
4 to 5 p.m.
4 to 5, but you can always catch it if you can't jump on it.
You can catch it. I'm sure the content is going to be so stimulating and so riveting that it's going to be shared repeatedly. It'll be easy to find.
And so for the awards banquet, which I'm like, now we have to tune in because now I'm like, who got the awards? Because we have 3. Is there 3 or 2 awards?
Volunteer of the Year.
Volunteer, yeah.
We have we're supported by an army of volunteers who put in so much of their own time. I feel like I need to add offices in the building for them. Volunteer of the Year, Small Business of the Year, Ambassador of the Year, and Otis Fowler Award. Otis Fowler was the first paid chief executive of the chamber. It's sort of akin to a Citizen of the Year award, but that's the highest award that the chamber awards out every year. And so I know who they are. Would you like to know? Do you want a hint?
Of course.
I'm not
I know you're not going to give it.
I'm not going to tell you. But I do, this is the Denton Insider, and I do have the scoop. I'm just not going to share it until September 24th.
Who it is they're real good.
They are real good. And we have a special guest MC for that night. Guest MCing our Chamber Awards celebration will be Senator Jane Nelson. So I know that's going to be entertaining. And we're going to have some of our presenters. It's going to be a fun hybrid event. We're going to be live in the DentonRadio.com studio. Like I said, we have some fun things planned, and I can't wait for you guys to join us.
So if folks want to grab tickets to the awards banquet, where would they go?
Denton-chamber.org. You click on events and you can find tickets to everything that we do.
Is it open to non-members or just members at this time?
It is open to members and future members. Yes.
Perfect. Yes, I'm sorry. I need to correct my terminology to future members. So I coming in and tuning in to the awards banquet, if you are not a member yet, I think it'd be a really great way to kind of get a taste of the people, because like you said, the volunteers are part of what makes the magic for the chamber. They donate so much time between ribbon cuttings, planning events, just calling folks to welcome them to the chamber. And, it's like whatever else you need. Like they would take out the trash if you needed them to. Like they're willing to do whatever.
Yeah, the Denton Chamber membership is a perfect little tiny microcosm of Denton itself. It is a diverse array of business owners, employees, volunteers, of large business and small business and corporate and one-man shops. It's really, there's something for everybody there. And we want to make this a chamber that has the thing for where you're at in your business right now.
Yeah. Well, I hope we get some folks tuning in to see the awards, see what it's all about. And I'm excited to learn who the winners are. This is always a fun time of year. And the best part is I feel like the winners every time are really surprised themselves, because they tend to be folks that are like, what do you mean? I don't deserve this. They're so modest. They just, give and give and give and don't expect anything in return. So
we're going to sneak up on them.
I love it. I love it. Well, what else do we have going on chamber-wide that we need to make sure we let people know about?
Check out our new website that we also launched quietly this year. check out what it means to be a member every single month. If you want more information on the Chamber, we do a member orientation where we talk about why the Chamber and what does the Chamber do. So you can, again, get on our events calendar. There's also a lot of connections on our events calendar to things that our members are doing. And we have members that are hosting really valuable education sessions. Stoke has a regular series that we link to on our website. I did want to give a shout out really quick. I mentioned that we changed our membership plan. I want to shout out right now to our 3 top investors who immediately jumped in at the highest levels, and that's TWU, Center for Women Entrepreneurs, that's Texas Presbyterian Health, and Peterbilt. Great champions of your community. Again, we want to link you to everything that TWU is also doing, and Heather, you know about that because Stoke has also partnered with TWU. These are great community partners who are deeply invested in the future economic well-being, quality of life in Denton. So I would encourage you to look for things to connect with there and, give them high fives or fist bumps or elbow bumps whenever you see people from those organizations in the community.
So
awesome. Thank you so much, Erica, for coming on and sharing the real Chamber scoop with us. We've appreciated your time.
Thank you, ladies.
If any of you want to learn more about joining the chamber events, or if you'd like to learn how to sponsor a segment from the Denton Insider, or perhaps have a program that we need to bring on a guest, head over to denton-chamber.org and peruse through and figure out the right fit. You can always just hit the contact button if you can't find your place. They'll get you to the right place. Definitely shout out to all of the chamber staff. Thank you so much for everything that you do. And Heather, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do we have coming up and closing out?
Yeah, so we are really excited. Next week, I'm basically going to take the stage. We're going to be interviewing some Stoke members. So we get to just learn about some of the great things that some of our members are doing in the community. And we're going to talk a little bit more about an accelerator program that we also just kicked off with the TWU Center for Entrepreneurs. So I definitely second that they're just a champion and great community partner. So yeah, I'm really excited to introduce y'all to some of our members next week. And yeah, thank you again, Erica, for giving us the ultimate insider scoop.
Thanks, ladies.
See y'all next week.
All right, bye.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. Now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton. Hey everybody, if you haven't checked it out yet, DentonRadio.com has soft launched a new website and brand. We'd love for you to go and check out the new look, but we also want to walk you through the new website and all the features you can see. So the main thing that we're most excited about is we have this video feed right at the top of the page that's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week video feed of different Denton performances. Now these are past recordings that we've done here at Denton Radio. We also have some awesome recordings coming at us from Tiny Couch Productions. Thank you, Tiny Couch. If you haven't checked out Tiny Couch, you've got to go see those guys. So 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week feed, and what we're dedicated to as an organization is going forward, we're going to be trying to be inside different Denton venues as much as possible. So we're going to be going to Dan's and Rubber Gloves and Andy's and LSA and recording the shows while they're happening and putting them right here. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're going to have a true window into the Denton music scene. So it's going to be really, really cool. Now just beneath that, we have the This Week in Denton section. And what you can do is scroll through and see all the shows that are happening in Denton that week. And then you can listen to the different songs from the different artists that are playing those shows. And then when you click the green button underneath it, it's going to take you right to DiscoverDenton.com's calendar page for that show. So you're going to get all the info on where, what, who, how, all that good stuff. And we'll be changing this out every single week. So you're going to have a full section of all the shows that are happening and everybody that's playing where you can go listen to them and check it out. We also still have our podcasts on this page. Everything that we were doing before is still here, but all these new fun features are coming at you. More features as well to come as we get further and further into this soft launch. And whenever we can start booking shows again and everybody's kind of back to normal, we're going to have a really awesome big launch party and we'll get the final product out there. And we're super, super excited about it. So thank you guys so much for checking it out. Go see it all at DentonRadio.com.